Welcome back to the Mystery School. Great to have you with me. In this video today I'm going to bring to life the subconscious mind for you, and also the premises that your focus creates your reality, as well as tension seeks resolution, and do that with a practical example and really bring it to life. Because what I mentioned in the Focus Creates Reality video is that the subconscious mind is part of our energetic body and it's invisible, and yet there are so many examples of it, and I like using rich fertile soil as an example of the subconscious mind. And what I also mentioned in that video is that a musical instrument is also a really good example of the subconscious mind, because rich fertile soil as well as an instrument, they're really good examples because the subconscious mind brings to life, brings to reality wherever you put your focus. And so whatever you plant in rich fertile soil, whatever you nurture in that soil will grow into reality. And likewise with an instrument, that's whatever you focus on, whatever you choose to play on that instrument will come through into reality. And specifically what I want to go into is the difference in the reality you create when you're focusing on your assumptions versus focusing on your imagination. Because normally when we go to create an end result, unconsciously we create that end result with our assumptions, and we create a certain reality consequently. Whereas we create a very different reality when we lead with our imagination instead of our assumptions. And so that's what I mean by I wanted to bring that to life today for you and to show you the vast difference between the two. And I'm going to do that with a musical instrument, because it's such a great example of the subconscious mind. So I have my acoustic guitar here with me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the guitar first of all in my assumptions, and then having played from my assumptions, we'll see what reality I create as a result. And then what I'll do is I'll shift my focus to my imagination, play the guitar in my imagination, and then see what reality I create. And so it will be a really good example of the two different realities we create depending on where our focus is. And so what I'll be doing is very simply just doing a 4x4 strum on the guitar. It's probably the most simplest thing you could do on the guitar. So I won't be forming any chords as such. And so I'll be doing a 4x4 strum with my assumptions, and then a 4x4 strum with my imagination. Okay, so I'll proceed in my assumptions. Okay, so that's what I did in my assumptions. So what was obvious to me from that? It felt like, as far as beliefs and assumptions go, it felt quite controlled. I felt like I had to be in control. I think that's the first thing that was obvious. In order to, like, that was the assumption, in order to get this message across or something. And it did feel quite constrained as a result. It really felt like I was kind of locked into the process of making sure I did this 4x4 strum, and also the assumption that I had to get it right. That was the other thing that was obvious, because I'm demonstrating it here with you, and I've got to make sure I get it right. This is coming from someone who not so long ago thought he didn't have a sense of rhythm. I mean, that's an assumption that I had for a long time, that I didn't have any sense of rhythm. So even though I'm not forming a chord, just to do a 4x4 strum in time on the guitar, it wasn't that long ago when I would never have been able to do that. So I guess I assume that I was able to do that on this occasion. But as I said, it did feel somewhat constrained, very processy, which I'll talk more about in a moment. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'm going to shift my focus from my assumptions to my imagination. And the way I'm going to do that is acknowledge my thoughts and feelings, because our beliefs and assumptions generate our thoughts and feelings. And then I'm going to go into innocence, and then I'm going to imagine the end result of what I would love. and then I'm going to do a 4x4 strum on the guitar. Okay. Okay, so that was my 4x4 strum in imagination, and I think the main difference was it was really nice to sit here and take the time to acknowledge my thoughts and feelings, to take the time to go into innocence first, because it wasn't just even the act of going into innocence. It wasn't so much about, well, I've got to sit here and strum. Like, I could just sit here and I could enjoy my guitar, I could enjoy this beautiful afternoon, just enjoy being in the moment. That's what I love about innocence, is it just puts you in the moment. So that was really pleasant. I really loved that I could just take the time to do that before just launching in to play the guitar. And then imagining the end result, I felt like I was connected, and then I could just play it in my own good time. And interestingly, I felt like I played it slower, and so I enjoyed each strum as a result. And then you would have noticed that I played the first two strums by doing two down strums. And then I just felt compelled, well, why don't the second two strums I'll do up strums? Just because I can. And so consequently they were different sounds. And it kind of reminds me, sometimes when you go to your imagination, it highlights some of the assumptions that I had. And so I assumed that I could only go down, and that it would be boring also without forming a chord. And by going down with two strums and up with two strums, it made it different. It was more enjoyable, and as I said, I was more with the music and the resonance of the music. I wasn't so much in the process of playing the instrument. And in that sense, it didn't feel like I was in a lesson. Like, I think that's the first thing. It's like, I'm in a lesson. I'm teaching how to strum the guitar 4x4 time. Whereas the second time, I was just here enjoying myself with you, with my guitar, and creating sound, creating music. And I was able to receive it. I think that's one of the big shifts in the reality. I was in the process the first time, and I created the end result, but I didn't receive it for myself. I felt quite fearful, actually. Yeah, I think I felt the fear of making a mistake. Whereas the second time, I didn't care if I made a mistake or not. It didn't even come into my consciousness. I was just enjoying the music. I said that a couple of times now, haven't I? And it's just nice to be here with my new acoustic guitar and to share it with you, and to be outside. And so for me, it's a very different experience, very different reality as a result. And it'd be interesting to see what the difference in the reality that you noticed as well. In fact, feel free to share in the comments what was obvious to you when I was strumming the guitar from my assumptions, and what was obvious to you when I made that shift to my imagination. It'd be great to get your insights, actually. So that's what I wanted to do today with you, is as I said, to bring to life the subconscious mind, and a musical instrument is a fantastic example of that. And I'm going to continue to do that in bringing different premises to life that underpin what I'm teaching at the Mystery School, because music is a fantastic medium within which to do that. And because it's so close to my heart as well, I thought I really want to bring it into what I'm teaching, because it is so precious as well. And so thanks for joining me today. And what I'll be also doing is creating another video and putting that video over on Patreon, and essentially doing the same thing, but I'm going to go into more depth as to how to make that shift as well, from assumptions to imagination, and how to acknowledge your thoughts and feelings, go into innocence and imagine the end result, so that you can do it for yourself. Both if you're a musician or you want to get into music, it's a fantastic medium to do that. But the great thing about these premises, they apply to any creation, any end result that you want to bring to life. Any medium you want to create within, you can do that. And I've also got a video over there which leads you through an exercise. It's like I'm competing with the sheep. Leads you through an exercise that allows you to shift the power in your subconscious mind in relationship to a conflict or creation. So any area of your life where you're at a threshold and it's creating tension, this exercise will allow you to see the assumptions that are creating that threshold and the beliefs, and lead you through the premises that will enable you to get really clear on what you'd love to create, and the means to which to create that. So that's over there for you as well. And I'm also creating a really vibrant community of people who would love to learn these premises and to live magically. So that'll be over there for you if you want to join me on Patreon, or if you are already a patron of the Mystery School. So thanks again for joining me today. It's been wonderful sharing this video with you. It's been wonderful sharing my guitar with you and music with you. And I look forward to seeing and sharing more premises with you very soon. So lots of love, take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.